search for and experiment with some form of a media tool, and then you describe the tool, and then you provide an example of when the tool could be useful, all right? Now remember, the learning space is a learning journal. You are not required to respond to your classmates, although you may feel compelled at some point because one of your peers has written something very interesting that does elicit a response from you, or perhaps you see a misunderstanding and you want to help that peer clarify their understanding, okay? So, the learning space is not a diary, it's not a personal journal, it's a learning journal. You have very specific responses. As long as your response is posted on time and it is in alignment with the prompt, hey, that's easy points, is it not? Because you are not evaluated on grammar. One thing you are that is not forgiven is text messaging language. That whatever forum you are active in, including the learning space, well, there is not a rigid evaluation of grammar and sentence construction, but you will lose points if I see text messaging language. You still must use standard American English, straight up. Okay? Yes, Lila, it can be be careful with the word casual. I would rather say informal. Okay? And this is just a reminder pointing you to where the rubric is for the learning space activity. So here is the instructions for the Unit 2 learning space. And again, this slideshow is posted in Doc Sharing. It's under a very specific category, seminar PowerPoint presentations. And you can refer to the slideshow, see how the prompts are broken down for you, so to make sure that your work is in alignment, I am concerned about this, folks, because a lot of people ended up in outer space last week instead of appropriately responding to the unit. So I may sound repetitive, I may sound, pretty strong, but that is because I want to make sure that you get it right. Okay. So, here we go into transitioning into an idea that falls under the notion of digital media. So what is Google? Very good. Becca answered it without me even taking a second breath. Okay, good, Miguel. Yes, I am absolutely a Google person. Okay, very good. So please notice what Google's mission is: to organize the world's information, even though China may not want to participate. I have to add that in after my experience in China. And make it universally acceptable and useful. Now, that's a pretty formidable mission, I'd say, considering the state the world is in at the moment. That is quite admirable, and it almost sounds like utopic mission. So, how many of you know what advanced Googling is? Yeah, just remember Yahoo sold out to Chinese interests. When I was in China just a year ago, you cannot use Yahoo in China anymore. Straight up, period. Yahoo is gone. What Yahoo did was opted to join with a Chinese corporation instead. So they merged in China with a Chinese version of Yahoo. Now, please take into consideration the Great Firewall of China. That is a pretty, it's a point of great concern. Google left China because Google was staying faithful to its mission and would not kowtow to the requirements of the CCP in regard to control of the internet. Now, I can speak freely to all of you because we are deeply involved in technical communication, and this presents a very serious problem. So, yes, they did, Bruce. And I was in China when it happened. And let's not forget that, let's see, how many years ago? This would be about about 5-6 years ago. The CEO of Yahoo was a businessman from Taiwan. And if you remember, there were some Chinese dissident bloggers that were using Yahoo to, express their beliefs. Now, this is something that we take for granted here in the United States. Our number one right, freedom of speech. That didn't happen in much of the world, folks. And the CEO, we're under this idea of privacy, right? No. The CEO allowed the Chinese government, and this is online, you can look it up, they allowed them to get into private information, find out who those bloggers were. They were arrested. Heaven knows what happened to them. Typically you are arrested and tortured and then sent in labor camps for the rest of your life. And then a new CEO came on board with Yahoo, and now we have another one. And the new CEO is a woman, and everybody was saying, ooh, look at what she has done. Made a deal with China. So be aware of this, folks, when you are, whatever search engines, whatever you're doing. When you go to bed with the devil, then you're going to pay the consequences, yeah? So anyway, what is advanced Googling? And again, this is all well documented. And as a matter of fact, the CEO, the Taiwan CEO of Yahoo, was brought before the United States Senate and just absolutely, verbally whiplashed how he could betray people, how he could betray their effort at freedom. It was horrible. It was disgraceful. I think you have to, yeah. Remember, Sabrina, Yahoo was an American company. It's not anymore. Okay, so please try this field trip here, folks. Just use Google. Wow, Miguel, that's impressive. Wondershare. Okay, Eric. So this is what I got. Is this what you're trying to get at when you do work for our class?